Hello, Zoomer. If you have any question, you can put your question in the chat, okay? So quadratic function has the form y equal ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, c are your real number. They call coefficient. This function you see here, that's called general function. There's another type of quadratic function called vertex function. We'll talk about that later, maybe not today, maybe in different lecture. So if I give you a function and I ask you to graph it, the easiest way is to use in the table, right? Plot in points. So you give some value for x, calculate y, and then you plot it out. That's your notes. 2.6. Say in this problem, here's my x value. Here's my y. Say if I'm gonna let -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. Usually I use 5 numbers like that. When you plug in -2 for x, what do you got? You can use your calculator. You can use your calculator. Maybe I'll show you how to use calculator. X squared plus 5 plus 3. So on your calculator, go to y equal the first on the left. And then you plug in the function. So I have x squared, x. Do you know where to do x? So see right below frac, x, t, theta, n. So x squared, square right here. Can't see very well. That's a square. X squared plus 4x. And then plus 3. You got it? Now I want to go to table. So second graph. Press the second, the blue one, and then press the graph right there. Go to table. You know what? Before we do that, let's do table set first. I want you to press second and window. Second window. Your input should be in ask, and your dependent should be in auto. So if it not, then go to, put your cursor down. Independent cursor over ask, press enter, and then depend. Put cursor over auto and then enter, and leave that for the rest of your life. And then go back to second graph to go to table. So I have -2, press enter, -1, 0, 1, 2. There you go. I know it's easy, this problem you can just do yourself, but what if you have like fraction, right? Because this is handy when there's fraction for input. I'll copy that down for you. I got -1, I got 3, 1, I got 8, and then -2, I got 15. Let's do one more. Let's put 5 in there, or rather -5. -5, I got 8. Let's do one more. So -2, -1, -2, -1. That's right here. -1, 0. Right there. 0, 3. That's your y-intercept. 1, 8. 2, 15. I don't. It's somewhere up there. We don't need that. Maybe -5 and 8. -5 and 8. And then connect those dots. Try not to make your graph look like a sharp T. Okay, it's quadratic, so it look like a. It should be a little bit curved. at the vertex here, the minimum point. So it'll be slightly curved. That will be absolute value function. That's called brute force. Right? Of course, we don't do this. Now let me show you. Let me show you when you look at the quadratic graph. What can you tell me? So there are two types, at least for this class. There are two types of quadratic graph. The first one is the one open up. We call that smiley face. When you have an open up graph, that means your coefficient A is positive. When A is positive, your graph open upward. Because it's open upward, the vertex here is going to be your minimum. That's the lowest point on the graph. Minimum. The axis symmetry, because it's an even function, is symmetric about the vertical line, right? That cut the graph into equal half. So that dashed line that you don't ever see on the graphic calculator, because it's not supposed to be there, it's called axis of symmetry. Is it vertical, so x equal or y equal? So my vertex is V, I call that HK. In the future, you know why I call that HK. Or you can call it XY, doesn't matter. Right? The axis of the symmetry is going to be x equal h. Right? It's vertical, it's going to be x equal. It's going to be x equal. Kind of like this. If I have like that graph right there go through 3, then your function will be x equal 3. Don't write that down. What is the range? What is the domain of the quadratic function? Yeah, it's a polynomial function, right? So the domain will be all real number. The range for the upward graph will be from the minimum up to infinity. And then where the case you have the sad face open downward, that means A is less than 0, A is negative. Let me tell you what this A right there is. A. In that case, the vertex is going to be your maximum. Axis symmetry is the same, be x equal h. Right? The vertex is h comma k, or you call it xy. And the range for the second graph will be from negative infinity up to the maximum points, right? Don't memorize these. It's for you to understand. It's just kind of dissecting the picture. You don't have to memorize. Here, now, what if I don't want to plot points? And a lot of time, mathematicians do not like doing tedious work. They always find a shortcut. Here's some property of quadratic function that allow you to graph it without plotting point. If A is positive, we know that it's going to open upward. If A is negative, it's open downward. The vertex has this formula. The x component, x, so that's equal. The x component is going to be equal to negative b over 2a. And you will be looking at the function. You know what is b, right? You know what is b. You know what is c. You know what is a. You plug in the coefficient number a. Once you have x, you're gonna plug in the x value into the function to find y. I'll give you the example. Earlier we called the h and k, right? the active symmetry will be x equal h, right? Which is that thing, negative b over 2a. Does it look familiar to you? Negative b over 2a? Does the formula look familiar to you? Where does it come from? You knew it. Huh? It's a quadratic formula, right? It's from there. Don't write this down. B plus minus b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a, right? So when this part is 0, that's your here's your h. That's your x. That's your the x component is your vertex. The thing I scribble in black there is called determinant. Because it determines how many solutions a quadratic function has. It could be two distinguished solution. It could be two double roots, mean you have two solutions of the same number, like x equal 1, x equal 1, or no solution if your solution is imaginary. We're not going to talk about that. To find the y-intercept, you set x equals 0 and then solve for y. To find the x-intercept, you set y equals 0 and then solve for x. That's simple. So let's do this one using those. A is negative. So A equal negative 2 is less than 0. Open up or open down? Down. Right. Vertex is x equal negative b over 2a. Do you know what's b? Which one was a? To plug it in. Right. B is 2, a is negative 2, so 1/2. Once you have x, you can plug in 1/2 to find y. By the way, if I make a mistake, let me know, so that I don't accidentally record it. uh, 1/2 squared, that's 1/4 divided by 2 is a negative half. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Negative 1, negative half, that's negative 1.5 or negative 3/2. Use your calculator, especially in the exam. You don't want to do by hand and you make silly mistake. So your vertex will be 1/2, comma, negative 3/2. I'll box that because I need it later. Active symmetry. You should be able to tell me. X equal 1/2, right? On the exam, please say x equal 1/2, so you don't lose partial point. If you put just 1/2, I will take a point off. It's the whole equation. It should be x equal 1/2. Maybe I'll do that. Blue. The y-intercept you said x equals 0. That's easy. When x equals 0, it's negative 2. Okay. So 0 comma negative 2. let's intercept. You set y equals 0 and then solve. This one a bit more involved. So that means negative 2x squared plus 2x minus 2 equals 0. Can I clean that up a little bit? Divide everybody by negative 2. You don't have to. Bless you. X squared minus x plus 1 equals 0. Is it possible for you to factor that? Can you find two numbers, multiply positive 1 and add to negative 1? No, I know.
No.
There's no two numbers, multiply 1 and then add to negative 1. So quadratic formula. X equal negative b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. If you look up quadratic formula on YouTube, they probably have song for you, but I'm not gonna sing. Spare you that part. Plug it in. B is negative 1. By the way, I simplified the problem. So you have your new B now, right? New B, new A, new C. If you use the original B and A and C, it's fine too. Just the number is just larger, but at the end you should be able to simplify it. Negative 1, negative 1, 1, 1, 1. Say it again. B is negative 1. Negative B, right? So negative parentheses. The negative come from the formula. Hang on. Let me do this. I confuse you with the color. Let me do black. And then let me erase that. All right. All right, okay. I just rewrite the formula, right? And now you plug in your B. What's B? Positive 2 divided by negative 2 and negative 1. B is negative 1, right? Oh, that's all right. That's all right. If you use the original A and B, see, you'll be fine too. Your answer should be the same. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to confuse you. Negative 1, negative 1, 1, 1, 1. Now become positive 1 plus minus something over 2. Negative 1 parentheses squared, that's positive 1 minus 4, that's negative 3, right? Do you have a real solution? What is equal to? People from home, you can talk to me if you like.
Shouldn't one of the possible
sorry.
answers be, wait, no, I don't, none of them should be a real number. They're both not real numbers, are they? Okay.
Yeah, so my answer, let's write out the answer. Let's write out the answer equal 1 plus minus, sorry, I didn't share. Very good, thank you. How would I rewrite square root of negative 3? In terms of, yes. Yeah, I, right? So this one, maybe I'll write it on technology, great when it works. So square root of -3 equal, I can split it into square root of -1 times square root of 3, yes? What's square root of -1? I, right? I square root of 3. So that's become I square root of 3 over 2. It's an imaginary solution. That means you don't see it on the real axis. We won't see it. On the real axis, I should say axis, not axis. Axes. So you're done. You just kind of stop it right there. Let me plot for you. Vertex is 1/2, -3/2. So 0.5 and -1.5. Right there. Y-intercept is 0, -2. On the exam, I do want you to label the vertex. The x-intercept, well, that's what x-intercept. Active symmetry. Let me do dash blue line. Sorry, should be x equal 1.
I can't see the screen. It's stuck on one of the previous slides.
I'm sharing though. I'm sharing now. Can you see it now? I'm moving it. You know it's lagging. Hang on. Can you see it now?
Yeah, I can see it now.
Did I plot the wrong one? Maybe I should fix a little bit. So 1/2 should be here. And then 2. I'm sorry, the scale is so bad. Scale so bad. Active symmetry, x equal 1/2. On the exam, I promise you, it won't be this bad. It's something nice, so you can see. It's easier for me to grade too. Can I figure out the other half? Yes, right. It's just mirror image. That's why you have imaginary solution for x-intercept, right? Is there any question before we move on to the next one, which is a similar thing, but friendlier? Okay, I want you to do this one. Same thing, and answer a bunch of questions. On the exam, I'll list it out for you. You just have to answer them. So what is A and how does it open up or down? Vertex. Active symmetry. For this one. y-intercept. X-intercept. I assume everybody write out the question. I'll put back here so you can see the step. It's the similar step. I don't want to give you fraction. I promise give me a second. Sorry about that. How about without the two? Without the two. Sorry about that. I don't want to give you fraction. I have like 1/4. That's tiny. Two. So here. Yeah, 2x. Let me do it so I make sure that it doesn't have fraction. Negative b over 2a. So negative 2 over 1. just finish this and I'll go. Is that what you got? I fixed it a little bit. So x squared minus 2x minus 1. Active symmetry will be x equal 1, right? X equal 1. For the y-intercept, you said x equals 0. So y equal -1, 0, -1, your y-intercept. And for x-intercept, you set y equals 0, so that x squared minus 2x minus 1 equals 0. Is there a number multiplied to -1 and add to -2? At least not on your mind, right? So quadratic formula again. B is -2. I'll do like that so I don't make mistake. A is 1, C -1. Let's take care of this one separately, so we don't have to keep rewriting it. 4 plus 4, right? 4 plus 4, that's 8. What is the square of 8? What's the square of 8? 2 equals 2. Can I factor out the 2? Now I can cancel.
Where'd you get the 1 from?
I factor out the 2 on the top. If you foil it back, 2 times 1 gives you back 2. Does it make sense?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. Here, I'll give you an example. I have 2x plus 4. If I want to factor out the 2, what happened? What's left for the first term? X, right?
X plus 2, okay.
Plus 2. Right? Same thing here. I factor out the 2. I factor out 2. What's left? Just the 1. Because 2 times 1 is 2. It can be nothing. It can be 0, right? Because does that make sense?
Yeah, I got it. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's approximate this. So either you have x plus √2, I'm sorry, 1 plus √2, or 1 minus √2. √2 is
So the ICJ statute. And that is.
roughly 1.4, right? So 1 plus the square root of 2. Can someone mute yourself? 2.4. And then this one will be negative 0.4. So you have 2.4 comma 0 and negative 0.4 comma 0 for your x-intercept. Axis symmetry, I'll draw that first so I don't forget. On the exam, most people forget about that. Somehow it's very insignificant. Vertex is 1 to negative 2. Y-intercept is 0, negative 1. My x-intercept will be 2.4, roughly 2.4 to the right here. And then the left x-intercept will be roughly negative 0.4. Yeah, negative 0.4. Go to your extra credit. The problem inside the question. So Zoomer, if you go to Moodle, and go to extra credit for today, 2.6 extra credit number 1, January 27th. Hope I didn't mess it up. I think they all integer because that's what I want to do. Yes. The quarterly profit in thousands of dollars of Cunningham Realty is given by this function, P of X. P stands for profit. It's the negative 8. So you expect your the graph of your function should be looking something like that, right? Something like that, upside down graph, where X in thousands of dollars is the amount of money Cunningham spends on advertising per quarter. So P is a profit. X is the amount they spending, the cost. Find the amount of money Cunningham should spend on advertising to realize a maximum quarterly profit. What is the maximum quarterly profit realizable by Cunningham? So let me highlight what they're asking here. The one I highlight in blue, what letter are they asking? X or P? Are we looking for X or P? What is X and what is P? Recall, what is X and what is P? X is the amount of money they spend on advertising, right? And P is a profit. So apparently the one I highlighted in blue, that's X, right? That's the cost they spend on advertising. And then the next they're asking for the profit, so that will be P. So I guess they're asking both eventually, right? P or Y, whichever. We talk about maximum here. And because our function is looking like that, it's upside down U. So your maximum should be the top of the graph, yes? So that point right there, right, should contain your X. And it should contain your what? Your Y, your P. Right. So that's the maximum cost and maximum profit. So let's find out X first. X is, according to the formula, is the vertex, which is the maximum. So negative B over 2A. What is B? A is negative third. Is equals, use your calculator if you don't want to do this. Negative 7 times negative 3/2. This is 21 over half. Can you tell me what's 21 divided by half? 2 divided by 2 is 1. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So 1.5 thousand. It should be exactly, and doesn't have to be approximate. 1.5 thousand, you have to put it in thousand. So 1.5 times 1,000 is 1,500, right? So they should spend 1,500 on advertising in order to get the maximum profit. Plugging that maximum cost into the function.
How did you get 1.5?
The second district.
Oh, 10.5, sorry. 21 divided by, you're right. 21 divided by 2 is 10.5. Sorry about that. Thank you. Is it what you got? All right, thank you.
Yeah, I got 10.5.
Okay, thank you very much. So so 10,500. You know what? I'll plug in 10.5 first, and then I'll change it to 1,000. I got 66.75. Was that what you guys have? Which is, thank you, which is 66,750. So that's the maximum profit. Right. This is optimization problem. If you spend less than $10,500 or more than $10,500, you may not get maximum profit. So my advice to you, understand the question on the exam. You gotta understand what the question is asking you, because next class I'm gonna show you other application problem as well. And after that, we have a quiz, first quiz. I'll email you what to expect on the first quiz. If nothing, yes.
On Monday, are we going to take the quiz in the start of class or that class?
Class first and then quiz, so that you can leave when you're done. Yes, yes. Did you guys manage to find that question?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was on 2.3. It was the second.
Oh. 2.3, second question.
It was one of the top for mine, but I think it was randomized from the slide.
Is that question?
It wasn't a graph, it was like, where they said put in scoring. Yeah.
It's two, oh, sorry, two, I hit 2.2.
2.3.
See you.
That one, the fourth one. The last two I didn't understand.
Oh, so A plus G of A. So A is just a number, it's just letter, and then you add to the function. So you got G of A, right? Let me do this. Yeah, thank you. See you.
Especially with the radical one. if you had to put it in 217, it's like-
First, you're gonna find G of A. What's G of A? You plug it in for the function G, right? So that's A. So you got negative A squared plus 10A. And then next is say A plus G of A. So all you do is you do that. A plus the function. Yeah, so long story short, you simplify A plus, so that will be A minus A squared plus 10A. Combine like term, you got negative A squared plus 11A. Or if you want to factor that out, just want negative quantity of A squared minus 11A. Oh, you know, factor the A out as well.
Would we get it wrong if we put down negative A squared plus 11A or?
For me on the exam, maybe if I have something like that on the, I prefer that it's fine by me.
The homework is-
We want you to factor it. Okay.
That makes sense. Thank you.
I was just wondering on the homework, 'cause I've been doing the homework. I had on question 4, I had 3 tries, but I got all of them wrong. 'Cause I was doing F, the answer, the question was asking G of F, I was doing F and G.
Oh,
I was wondering, can I get step 4?
what section is that?
It was the homework that's due tomorrow on Saturday.
Tomorrow.
2.4.
Oh, you use up you use up your thing?
Yeah, I used up all 3.
Send me your email.
Okay, I'll send you an email.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
And then I'll want to do what the due date tonight.
It's due tomorrow night.
Oh, okay. So maybe wait till it's due
Okay, those
so I
two?
can fix the final grade.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Mhm.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye.